Everyone to today's teachings. Okay, this is Melody FS Academy, and I'm happy to have every one of us today. So if this is your first time of coming across this channel, please do well to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and so you will get notified of when we upload new content on every week. Okay, so in today's tutorial we're going to be talking about the live trade experience. We are still on the live trade experience series. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to be sharing the breakdown of everything I did on each trading day. Okay, so last week was actually a lot really happened this previous week. Okay, and trust me, it wasn't friendly at all. It wasn't friendly, and but we made it through. And I'm going to share with us what I did on Friday. Okay, so please let's get started. Okay, so now remember, we always start our analysis from the weekly time frame, right? To me, I start mine from the weekly time frame. You can start yours from the daily, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I just like the weekly time frame. Okay, just like the weekly with the weekly time frame, right? So now this is the price action, and we are, remember, we start our analysis from the weekend. Okay, so this is the weekend, and this is where we are right now in price action. Okay, so prior to this week, the previous week, I talked about this in one of our previous episodes, right? So I talked about this being our shift in market structure. Okay, and this getting in sync with the daily bias, which was already bearish, right? So and I talked about the old low right here being reached for the sell side liquidity resting below here being reached for, right? And I also made mention that if we are to see a retracement, it's going to likely reach into this weekly fair value gap, right? You can check out the video, right, where I talked about it, and I'm actually going to leave a link on the description box. You can confirm it yourself. Okay, I actually talked about this fair value gap. uh, if we are to see a retracement of any sort, we should expect some retracement into this fair value gap. Okay, so I talked about it prior to this week. Okay, and which is what we saw exactly happened last week, right? So this is the retracement of the weekly fair value gap. Okay, so this week is going to likely reach for the sell side liquidity resting below this old low, right? So my bias is still very much bearish, and I'm going to see price which retraced down to this old low. Okay, so now we're going to I have actually covered most of the trading I did this week. Okay, I did a live experience 2 series. Okay, I did 2 series last week. Okay, so I'm actually going to share what happened on Friday. As we know, on Friday was NFP week. Okay, so a lot on Thursday. On Thursday, I didn't get much of an entry. Okay, on Thursday, turns out the market was really heavy, and things kind of happen quite fast, and this is because we had a risk off market scenario. Okay, the dollar was very much bullish and causing all other rather forcing all other asset class to go bearish. Okay, so I didn't do much of the trading on Thursday. Okay, so I'm going to share with us what I did on Wednesday, right? I'm going to share with us what I did on Wednesday. Okay, so I also talked about this fair value gap on the daily time frame, right? I made mention that if we were to see a retracement it is likely going to be to the daily fair value gap. Okay, so it's going to reach for this daily fair value gap, right? And before continue before reaching for this sell side liquidity. And this um, is what we saw and this previous week, right? And you can see the huge displacement that happened right after we reached into the fair value gap. Okay, it didn't stay long and creating this huge displacement, right? So now this is on Thursday price action. Okay, this is on Thursday price action. Oh, sorry, on Friday price action, which was NFP. Okay, on Friday was NFP, and I didn't really pay much. Sorry, I didn't really pay much attention to the NFP. Okay, I wasn't really looking at the calendar. I wasn't really looking at, you know, I was just focused on price. Okay, I was just focused on price, uh, doing my normal routine. Okay, so during the NFP Friday, this is the Friday's price action, as you can see. Okay, so this is my New York midnight 12 a.m. Okay, so this is my Q zone, my London Q zone opening right here. This is the opening price, right? So this is the opening price. This is my New York Q zone, right? This is the opening price right here. Okay, so remember my bias was bearish. Okay, my bias is bearish, and I'm expecting for the opening price, for the London opening price, right? I'm expecting a movement above the above the opening price 12 a.m. Okay, for the power, creating the power of 3. Okay, since I'm bearish, I was expecting a kind of move above the opening the London sorry, the 12 a.m. midnight opening price. Okay, so as you can see, we had none of that right here, but here, okay, we got a little displacement, but that wasn't really much, and we were already outside of our Q zone. Okay, so we had this, but there was no there was no shift in structure, as you can see right here. And so I skipped this. I didn't really look much into this. Okay, so my attention was right here on the New York Q zone opening. Okay, so we got our New York Q zone right here. So this is the opening price. Okay, so looking at the opening price of the New York. Okay, so which actually began at 7 a.m. New York time. Okay, so I got the opening price and I got my move above the opening price. Okay, so what's the first swing high prior to the opening price? Is definitely this swing high, but I decided to use this because this swing high is inside the range of this short-term high. Okay, so I could have used this as well. It doesn't really matter, but I placed my attention on this. Okay, okay, so now as we can see from this, we got our move our protraction. Okay, we got our this is the opening price, right? We got our high, uh our what's it called, our stop, our run on liquidity. Okay, so we had our a run above an old high. Okay, so this is the first high prior to sorry, this is actually the first high prior to the New York Q zone opening. Okay, but my attention was on this because this short-term high is inside the range of this. Okay, so I could have used this or and this, doesn't matter out of the two, right? So I used this one actually. Okay, I decided to go with this. Okay, so now this is the run above the old high. Okay, this is the run above the old high, and this is my opening price, right? So the run on liquidity, I got my shift in market structure right here. Okay, so market broke down aggressively, creating a huge displacement. Okay, as you can see here, this is sell side inefficiency, right? So the market only offered the sell side liquidity. Okay, this is liquidity void right here. Okay, so the market broke down, then started retracing upwards. Okay, I didn't use the 3 minute for my entry. Okay, I'm only sharing this if you let's say you have your interest is on the 3 minute chart. Okay, I prefer using the 1 minute time frame most of the times. Okay, I prefer using the the 1 minute chart, okay, but this is what I would have done if I had used the 3 minute chart, okay. So this was my shift, my obvious shift in market structure, right? So we got this and price started retracing upwards, okay. So I would have taken out my fib, measured it, and we have uh multiple, or what's it called, fair value gaps right here, okay. So my interest would have been on the fair value gap above the equilibrium, right? So which is what we have right here. So this would have been my entry right there, okay. So that would have been 15 pips stop loss, because my stop loss would have been above the third candle's high, okay. So that would have been a 15 pip stop loss, and targeting this old low would have been a 51 pip target, okay. So that would have, but I use the 1 minute time frame, okay. So now coming down even further to the 1 minute time frame, okay. So I had the the shift in market structure right here. This is the old short term low be taken out. At the same time, this swing, a run on liquidity being created right here, okay. So we had a high, a low, and a higher high, okay, grabbing liquidity and a shift in market structure, okay, creating our fair value gap. So my entry was on these third candles, okay. My entry was on these third candles right here, because when we add this was the first, the second, no sorry, this was the first candle, the second and the third candle created right here. So as soon as this candle traded up into it, I got my entry right there, okay. So this was my shift in market structure, right, and I got my entry right there. So and I got out at an old low right here, okay. So that was what I did on Friday, okay. I didn't go for a second entry or whatsoever, okay. I'm only sharing this 3 minute time frame with us, because this would have been what I would have done if I had traded with the 3 minute time frame, okay. But I went with the 1 minute time frame. So this was what I actually did, okay. So I didn't really pay attention to NFP happened around, is it 2:30 Nigerian time, okay. It should be around 2:30 Nigerian time. I didn't really pay attention to when the news was being released, okay. I'm not even sure if I traded at the time of the news being released, but this was just what I did on Friday, and I was done for the day, okay. I was done for the day. The previous week was really a lot really happened in the previous week, and which we are probably expecting new opportunities to unfold this week, okay. So uh this is just the end of this uh of today's teaching, okay. So now, please, if this is your first time of coming across this channel, please do well to subscribe, and I'm going to be attaching our Telegram link to the description box, okay. So if you have any further question, you have requests, you can kindly join our Telegram channel, okay, our Telegram group, and leave your questions, and I'm going to attend to you. And if you have learned one or two things from this, please drop a comment, leave a comment. The next series I'm going to work on now is going to be on the futures market, okay. So I'm going to touch one or two things on the futures market, okay. It has been long we talked about the futures market. I'm going to talk on it, okay. So thank you guys for joining us today, and see you all in the next episode, okay. Have a good week and good trading.